This is the end of the educational piece of this week and this program. I will be encouraging you, though, to stay in front of your computer just a little bit longer because some of the assignments, it will be most helpful if you can take a look. So I want you just to recognize that you've taken quite a big journey, kept your mind open, and hung in there through lots of information that will be available for you to revisit. But let's take a look at going forward. I want to encourage you to continue to experiment with many different interventions, discovering the ones that work best for you. Develop a treasure trove of pain and stress busters. And it's important to know that the mind can override something that it's used to. So if you find something that's really effective for you, one of the methods, you may find that after a while it may not be as effective because you know it well enough that the mind starts to override it. You start thinking through it. So you can trick the mind and you can stay in control by continuing to use many different ones, which is why I've given you lots of different tools and techniques. I'm going to encourage you to continue to work with your doctor and other professionals to get the help you need. And if you're in an area where there are many medical professionals and you do not feel like you have a good relationship with your doctor, I encourage you to seek additional help. If you're in an area where there aren't very many medical professionals available to you and you are working with someone that you don't feel that great about, it's going to be important for you to advocate even more for yourself and be even more aware of information that might be out there that you can share with this person. Be aware of overutilizing any pain management or coping technique, and that includes medications. Use your treatment plan, which we're going to be talking about in just a couple of minutes, to keep you in track, and keep contact with your buddies from the program. So I want to again remind you, not only is this a program, but this is also a research study, and to thank you for participating in this. Your feedback about the program is very helpful because it will help us develop an even better program, or know that we don't have to continue on, that we've got it. You will be contacted after this program ends by the researcher. You will both be getting the original research survey, but you'll also be getting a detailed program evaluation, and I'm hoping that you complete them both. That gives us good information. And then you will be contacted again in the future so that we can see how much of this program continued to be helpful for you. The research will be continuing, so it'll be a while until the results are known. But when you see that a full program has been developed, you will know that you were part of the original research that helped make the program a great one. So I want to thank you for participating for yourself, but also for helping other people with the MS that are living with discomfort. Your assignments for this week will be to try another pain reliever, to continue to experiment with psychoneuroimmunology, help is on the way, and to develop a wellness plan or a treatment plan. So I'm going to give you some of the information, and then you'll be able to see what it looks like in the next slide. Review your log to see which one of the stress and pain relievers worked best for you. And consider which ones you haven't tried that you're interested in, you'd like to try. And use the guide in the next slide and the blank form, which is in your PDF, to develop your initial plan. Review it once a month to see how well it's working. And I'm going to encourage you to not stress yourself out by trying to include too much on your log, but try to be realistic. And if you review it and you are finding that you weren't keeping up with it, you may have included too much, or if you find that you aren't that interested, you can change it. And if you find that you have space for adding more things, you can do that also. But I'm going to recommend that you start slow and then continue to review it. So this is an example of what your guide can look like. To list the tool, the pain or stress management tool, I've given you some examples: psychotherapy, PNI, yoga, stretch, meditation, that turning it down imagery. And then think about how often you would be participating in this. It's just a ballpark. Maybe once a week for psychotherapy, and maybe you want to try this for 6 months. And maybe you're going to use the psychoneuroimmunology whenever you use a pain reliever, and that's going to be ongoing. Maybe you're going to take a yoga class or do something with a DVD and then try it on your own a couple of times a week and try that for a month. And I've given you a date here. It's just any date, but I'm going to encourage you to record when the month is over so you know how long this is going on. And then maybe you want to try some meditation 2 times a week, and you want to give that a longer time, maybe 3 months. So you put a date on that for when that 3-month time would be over. And then something that you're just going to use maybe when you're uncomfortable. You're going to try using the tool turning it down, turning down the volume. And you'll try that ongoing and see how that works for you. And then a piece of it is reevaluating in a month. And when will you do that? You can have a cue at the beginning of each month. And then I'll encourage you to try a new tool so your mind doesn't override. And you can put that in at the beginning of each month. So in your PDF, you have blanks for this, and you can print out as many as you want, or you can come up with your own chart and put it someplace so that you can feel like you have some control. You have a plan for yourself, and you can really see what's working and what's not working and what you've tried, and you can continue to make changes until you find something that works really well for you. And then you might notice that you may need to change it as things change for you, as you discover new things or as your mind overrides, and just be willing to continue to review this.